More than 161,000. That's the number of people who have tested positive in India in the last 24 hours. It's the highest daily tally in the world. Over the past week, India has averaged more than 130,000 cases in a day. Nearly all Indian states are showing a spike. It's the worst resurgence in the world. The situation is alarming. The solution is vaccines. India must ramp up vaccination. There are no two ways about it. They say desperate times call for desperate measures, and India is now taking a radically new approach to its vaccination strategy. Tonight on Gravitas, we are going to tell you about it in 10 quick questions and answers. Question number 1, what is India's new vaccine strategy? Fast-tracking the approval of foreign vaccines. How will they do it? Let's show you a list of global regulators. It's there on your screen now. We have the US Food and Drug Administration, the European Medicines Agency, the UK Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, Japan's Pharmaceuticals and Medical Devices Agency, and the World Health Organization. 5 regulators. And if a vaccine is approved by these regulators, it will be approved by India. Of course, conditions will apply. The vaccine makers will have to conduct bridging trials in India. What are these? Bridging trials are basically trials that will generate data about a vaccine in the Indian context. Why are they important? Because they help us understand how a vaccine will perform in Indian conditions on Indian patients. Earlier, the rule was this: bridging trials must be done before a vaccine gets permission in India. But now there's a change in that plan. 100 people will be given a new vaccine, any of these foreign vaccines, and they will be monitored for 7 days. And if they do not show any adverse reaction, the vaccine will be cleared for emergency use in India. This is the new plan, meaning the jab will be rolled out for the rest of the country. So the government has basically cut short the regulatory process in India. What does that mean for you? That's question number 2. Which vaccines will be available in India? Well, we already have 3. The Oxford AstraZeneca shot called Covishield, Bharat Biotech's vaccine called Covaxin, and Russia's Sputnik V. It was approved on Monday. Now, after today's decision, you will have access to imported vaccines from Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Novavax, and Moderna. Question number 3. What do we know about these vaccines? Well, Covishield, Covaxin, and Sputnik V, they all have an efficacy of more than 70%. Sputnik has the best success rate, 91.6%. And all of these vaccines work on the same principle, basically. They are dead or weakened viruses. When injected in your body, they generate an immune response. That is how traditional vaccines work. What about the new vaccines that may be introduced? Johnson & Johnson is a single-shot vaccine. You don't need 2 shots. It has an efficacy of more than 66%, but America has halted its use today after reports of blood clots. Then we have the Novavax shot. Its efficacy is 90%, and then the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, they're different from the others because they work on the new mRNA technology. What does that mean? These vaccines do not have dead or weakened viruses. They have strands of genetic material. They basically teach our cells how to make a protein to trigger an immune response. They're fundamentally different, these 2 vaccines, Pfizer and Moderna. They have an efficacy of more than 90%. So this will be India's new vaccine basket. Which one should you pick? Discuss that with your doctor, we won't say. But whatever the efficiency of the vaccine, they're all 100% effective in preventing 2 things: hospitalization and death. So whatever you're getting, take it, we say. Question number 4, when will the vaccines be available? Well, Covishield and Covaxin are already in use in India, but they're short in supply. We don't know when Sputnik V will be available. The Russian Direct Investment Fund has deals with at least 6 companies in India. They will produce more than 850 million doses, but it's not clear how many of these doses will be sold in India. 850 million. Question number 5. From where will these vaccines come? Covaxin and Covishield, as I said, are being made in India. Sputnik is also going to be made in India. The others can be imported or locally produced if these companies strike deals with Indian manufacturers. Now, it is very important to note that most of these vaccine companies are struggling to meet their own domestic demands and fulfill their pre-orders. So it is going to take a while before they can start exporting to India. What about eligibility? Who can take the jab? Well, no changes in those rules. You can get vaccinated in India only if you're above the age of 45. Question 7. Who will pay for these vaccines? Right now, the central government procures vaccines and it gives them to states. India has allocated 35,000 crore rupees for Wuhan virus vaccines. The free vaccination drive is being funded through this budget. But private facilities charge for jabs. The cost is capped at 250 rupees per dose. That's almost $4. Question 8. How serious is the shortage in India? Well, the answer depends on who you ask. The central government says there's enough to go around. India has a stock of 24 million doses. Another 19 million are in the pipeline. This is what the health minister said last week. But states say that they're running out of vaccines. Let's give you the simple math. India is producing 70 million doses per month. India's daily vaccination rate is 3.5 million. That's more than 105 million shots a month. That is India's demand. So India needs 100 million doses, but it is producing only 70 million doses. Do you see the gap? That is the shortage. Question 9. Can more vaccines end the surge? Technically, yes. 2 countries have shown it. They have flattened the curve with vaccines. Israel and the United Kingdom, close to 50% of their populations have got at least 1 shot. India could replicate their success, but India will have to move fast to do that. The question is, how fast? That's question number 10. What is India's vaccination target? 300 million people by the month of August. How is India doing? Very good so far. Earlier this week, India became the fastest country in the world to administer more than 100 million doses. It took India 85 days to achieve this feat. In comparison, the US took 89 days to reach the 100 million mark and China took 102 days. So far, so good. But it's clearly not enough. India's second surge is a full-blown crisis. It must act urgently and effectively to curb the virus. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.